Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Picking right back up, finishing this review for episode 1. I promise you this won't be painful. So after the initial 15 minutes within episode 1, you start to realize that this series is really just one long Instagram feed, because what they have provided here has been nothing but photos and videos that you would normally upload onto social media, which is something very tacky and cheap. And Meghan Markle has managed to come full circle to become one of these influencers. At this point, though, I think we can call her a glorified influencer. I believe that she really wants to go down this path because it's less work and she gets free stuff. Can we go back to this photo for a second? Tell me something looks off here. This is stuff that nightmares are made out of, seriously. Now, the rest of episode 1 is dedicated to Harry and detailing his traumatic childhood history of his experience with the media, and of course rehashing Diana's death and having to walk behind casket and blaming the media intrusion for it, when in reality we all know that Diana died as a result of a drunk driving accident. But hey, who are we to talk about facts? This is Harry and Meghan's show, right? What is interesting to all of this is that Harry says he doesn't have that many early memories of his mother. Well, here's my thought about this. Would he be upset if the media now had intruded and captured her on film? Wouldn't he want more memories of her now that she is gone? I think Harry should be grateful to the media because they were able to capture moments of her life before it was taken away so tragically early. Now he can look back, albeit might not have been the best of times, but better have that than nothing for memories. Nobody's interested to follow Meghan around. It's quite telling that Netflix had to use other footage of the other girlfriends to show the media intrusion on Harry and his personal life. They had nothing to show for Meghan, so what does that tell you? This footage that's in there is of Chelsea and Cressida. Where's Meghan? Oh, right, nowhere, because when she calls them, some of them don't even want to show up. So far, Harry and Meghan have failed to make their case that Meghan was so hounded and stalked by the paparazzi. I think what's really clear here in this episode, and the point that they're trying to make, is to show you that Harry is definitely Diana's son. Her empathy and the way that she did things is similar to justify the things that he's doing now.
And I am my mother's son.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Of course.
Was it of course.
Of course.
Was it an
I somehow believe that if Diana was alive today, she would tell Harry to get over the fact that he's upset with his brother for calling her this girl when he himself calls Meghan this girl.
That was when it just hit me. I was like, okay, this girl, this woman is...
Do you remember when Meghan told her truth and said this asinine statement?
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice?
But in the
A friend of
episode,
mine
she tells
asked
a different
about
story.
you, and maybe you'd like to meet him.
And I said, who is it? And she said, it's Prince Has. And I said, who's that? I asked if I could see his feed.
I think a more honest answer would have been, how much is he worth? That's probably more like it.
Whatever she says is a lie.
Because if he wasn't kind, it just didn't seem like it would make sense, and so...
My childhood, I remember, or was filled with laughter, filled with happiness, and filled with adventure.
In their imaginations, the
So where is this genetic pain? I can't feel sorry for this guy. This type of stuff should be really sorted out in therapy, not on a global stage. And when you look at this footage, you see Charles being very paternal here. William was such a cute kid. In one of the segments, James Holt started to speak about the monarchy.
Represent everything that is Great Britain.
He really did delicately walk the fine line, but his allegiance is to the Sussexes. And essentially what he was saying was that the monarchy needs to modernize. I disagree with that to a certain extent. I do believe that they have been modernizing. The issue that I see is an ideology that is rooted in America and now translating over into the UK. The monarchy is based off of the principles of Christianity, and unfortunately, Hollywood and the mainstream media are a godless entity, fueled by greed and lack of decency, two qualities that Meghan possesses. The monarchy does not need to modernize and bend to this crap, because technically they're serving God and nobody else. It's ridiculous that they keep bending and having to apologize for things that they have not been responsible for. If they start bending and reacting to all this race baiting that's going on, it's gonna crumble the monarchy one way or another.
But when you actually put it under pressure and you say that there is a family anointed by God, by blood, to rule over this country and other countries around the world, it's a difficult conversation to have. And so in order for the institution to survive, it has to modernize, but it also needs mass popular support.
They typically have popularity ratings between 60 and 80%. These are rankings that politicians would die for. In order to survive in the future, they need to maintain that popularity. Each year they make somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 royal visits.
Let me interject here. I think it would be very difficult, even if the popularity did sink for the royals. It would be very tough to uproot them from Britain's cultural fabric. The one thing that I did like about this episode was how they broke down the communication between the various offices.
And all the royal households have press officers to ensure that there is pretty constant publicity about the royal family and that it is pretty constantly good publicity.
Guarded treasure. It's long distance from the beginning.
Everything was just texts and FaceTimes, and we just talked for hours, and it just felt exciting, which is so weird because it wasn't exciting in the way that I think people would assume that it would be.
I genuinely believe that the novelty of talking to a prince was the reason why it felt so unique. It had everything to do with status and money than it did with actually falling in love with the type of person that Harry is. Harry set the wrong expectation from the beginning by jet-setting away with her to Africa. Meghan probably thought in her head that, oh my God, this is how life is as a royal. We get to do all these fun trips, and in her mind, she's thinking lavish lifestyle. In Meghan's mind, there's no doubt that she was expecting to be romanced and showered with lavish, expensive gifts. And when that didn't happen, or she couldn't grift off of her status, that's when she said, I gotta get out of here because this is not what I was expecting. And I truly do believe that when she had an idea of what it was going to be, that was what she was thinking, not actually working. This stupid girl really thought she was going to be a pampered princess. Joke's on you. So Harry expresses that Meghan is literally the reincarnate of Diana. Not sure where he would get that idea. Maybe it's all that kindness. Now this next shot that they show with Meghan showing Archie Grandma Diana, it totally looks staged. As you can see, there is this wall of, I don't even know what type of wallpaper that is, but in the middle of nothing, just hanging there. All right, let me pose this question to you guys. Looking at this clip of Archie and Meghan looking at Diana, do you think that it is staged? Because in theory, if you look at Archie's size, he might be like 6-7 months old. And if they claim that they didn't start filming till after they left the royal family, then do we believe that they put this photo up in the rental home, or if this was just staged, or could this have been filmed at Frogmore? To me, I think that the picture looks so out of place, but what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Especially after what happened to my mum.
Yeah. That's your Grandma Diana. Yeah.
You know, I didn't want history to repeat itself.
We know Harry, but this is so weird. Part of Harry's story is talking about Africa and how he felt at peace there, and pretty much letting the people know that it was them that helped raise him. Ridiculous.
I've got a second family out there, a group of friends that literally brought me up.
I think Harry would have been happy if he found a woman who actually loved him and would have moved to Africa. I think he would have been a lot happier than he is now.
I'm getting on the plane and I'm going to the middle of the bush? What? What am I doing? Like, what if we don't like each other?
Meghan's not fooling anybody. Meghan would have done whatever she had to do to get that bag. And if it meant that she had to sleep in a garbage dumpster, that's what she would have done. But I bet she was expecting something like this, but then got this.
I think in her heart, she just knew that she had to do that with him.
In the middle of the night, just like hear this rustling. I see the shadow. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? It's like an elephant munching.
Like, why is Meghan whispering? Everything is such an act with this woman. Now, this I find very telling, that their relationship is a sham. So Harry is trying his best to be loving, but then Meghan doesn't even look at him while he's saying these really, really sweet things.
You put a lot of faith and a lot of trust in me.
I did.
She can't even look at him. And she's like, I did. So what does that mean? Do you still now put trust and faith in him?
This bitch! Part of the currency of talking about the royal families is to share secrets.
See, what's frustrating about this is that Harry knows this game, and he is playing this game. What do you think this whole entire series is about? It's about manipulating. What do you think the last 5 years have been about? This has all been one manipulation, but they're pissed that other people are profiting. I don't think it's so much them having an issue with the media, because they work very closely with the media. They have issue with those that they can't control and they can't profit from.
I said, okay, well then I'll just treat it like we're in the bush. Where like, it's all foreign to me, but I trust that you'll keep me safe.
And there is Meghan's argument for more money in the separation or divorce. She doesn't feel safe. Now she's assumed this public lifestyle and status that she never had before. She's already pinned the blame on Harry to think that he is the one responsible for the disintegration of the relationship with her father. So this is only par for course. So now towards the end of the episode, you start seeing this dark cloud hang over this wonderful love story about how the press was so racist and hateful against Meghan. But some of the stuff that was being tweeted on social media had been leaked from people on the inside telling the truth. Do you guys notice how they use the same 1 and 2 headlines that, yes, admittedly, were not so nice, but fail to give credit to the really positive stories that outweighed the negative? Of course, right? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Look, let's call it what it is. They're blaming their failures, their bad behavior, and just bad choices in general on the media because they need somebody to put the blame on. And of course, they're not going to take accountabilities. What happened to you, Harry? You used to be cool.
Have fun.
Pull the
out
pin
in
on the fun
world.
grenade, of which we did. Okay, well, I really have to up my game. Together in New York City!
Ay, ay, ay. That concludes review of episode 1. I will be back soon with another review video, but until then, turn on your notification bell buttons. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!
That was such a fraud.